This is the Growatt portable power station, also known as the Helios 3600, and I have it right here in front of me. Out of the box, this thing looks serious, with its sturdy black plastic case, solid metal frame inside, and those big chunky wheels at the back. To me, it kind of reminds me of a high-end carry-on suitcase, only this thing is packed with power, not clothes. There's an extendable handle at the top, so rolling it over grass or bumpy ground is no problem. If you're familiar with dragging heavy gear to a campsite, or moving backup equipment around the house, this makes everything way more manageable, even though the unit still sits at 99 pounds. You're not going to want to carry this upstairs alone, but on flat ground, it moves pretty well. The display at the front is big and bright, so I can actually see what's going on from a distance. I'm a big fan of displays that don't make me squint or get up close just to check battery info. The status lights clearly show charging by solar, wall outlet, or car input, and I noticed that when I connected everything, it updated in real time. There are plenty of buttons and ports. Honestly, it's almost a little intimidating at first. Over the last couple of weeks, though, I found myself growing used to the layout. From my experience, this Growatt feels like a blend of home power supply, outdoor generator, and power bank, but in one giant package. Key features that stood out to me right away: the huge 3C86 Balio battery and 3600 watts output. Basically, I was able to plug in just about anything I needed, from my fridge to coffee makers to power tools, and even tried it with the AC in my RV. At one point, I pushed it close to its rated maximum, and honestly, it handled everything without a hiccup. If you're new to these units, W stands for watt hours, which is just a technical way to show how much total energy you have available. 3686 ballies is a ton for a portable device, so you can keep a lot running for long periods, especially if you add expansion batteries. Speaking of those, Growatt lets you expand the storage all the way up to 36 kWh with extra modules. That's getting into home backup territory, especially if you pair two units in split phase for true 240 V output to your house. In my opinion, the standout thing about the Helios 3600 is its flexibility with charging. I get 6 different ways to recharge: AC outlet, car socket, RV input, alternator, or even combinations of those for really fast recharging. When I was testing solar charging, I noticed the manual says the XT60 input only handles up to 60 volts, but I reached out to Growatt support just to be sure. They confirmed the circuit itself can accept up to 150 volts, making it way easier to hook up several panels in series for heavy-duty, fast charging. That extra headroom is awesome because it means you actually can get close to the full 2000-watt solar input without worrying you'll overcook the electronics. For those who've never set up a solar generator, having this kind of flexibility means you don't have to buy only super specific panels, and you can charge up fast even on cloudy days. I'd recommend this for anyone needing real backup power for their home or as a serious solution for off-grid living, especially if you do a lot of camping with bigger vehicles or need to keep medical devices running during outages. And it's not just big appliances. On the main unit, you get a huge selection of ports: 4 USB-CS rated at 100 watt each, classic USB-AS, 120 volt outlets, a 240 volts NEMA port, and even a dedicated RV socket. On its own, plus with the expansion battery, you even get port access directly from the battery's side, which is handy if you want to just run a 12-volt fridge at a tailgate or while camping. One thing that made life easier for me was the MyGrow app. After sorting out the initial connection, there was some fumbling for me. I'm not the most patient with new apps. It let me monitor the input and output in real time and even set preferences for wall charging power. A really neat feature is the quiet charge mode. I live in a quiet neighborhood, and knowing I could turn down the internal fan speed or charging noise at night was a nice bonus. Not something you see on every power station. What I really like about the Helios 3600 is how much it tries to cover. You get a huge battery, powerful output, and almost every port you could ask for. The LFP, that's lithium iron phosphate, battery chemistry means not only is it safer and less prone to overheating, but it should last for thousands of charge cycles. Growatt says 10 years, and you get a 5-year warranty right out of the box. Using this when the power went out last week, everything I plugged in worked perfectly, and I didn't feel nervous whether it could keep up. The display was accurate, the app gave me updates, and it honestly made life less stressful. If you're cautious about battery safety or worried about cold weather, this unit has a cold start feature, which is supposed to work down to 20 GALR. I haven't tested it in that extreme, but I did leave it in my garage during a mild cold snap, and it powered up without a problem. From my experience, Another big plus is just the sheer flexibility. The expansion battery isn't just for storing more energy. It gives me another way to charge and use devices, even separately. And as someone who likes experimenting with solar panels, the higher voltage limit is super useful. The AC output is solid too. I ran 2 power-hungry devices together, and it barely broke a sweat. Now there are a few things I don't love. The first is obvious. It's heavy. Not crazy heavy for what it is, but if you're thinking of dragging this solo up some stairs or across your yard, be prepared. I wish it had one more carry handle on the side, just for when the wheels aren't an option. The second issue for me was the app it setup. Sometimes it took a while to connect, and there were moments, especially early on, where I'd have to refresh stuff to get the latest numbers. It did settle down after a firmware update, but I can see how first-time users or people who aren't super techy could feel annoyed. Also, the manual can be confusing. It took me a while to realize the limitations and abilities of the XT60 and Anderson ports. Honestly, Growatt could make it more clear that the rated inputs can safely handle more than what's printed if you know what you're doing. For beginners, the variety of ports, specs, and expansion options might feel overwhelming, but once you get over the learning curve, it's powerful. I wouldn't call it the most portable if you're hoping to toss something in a backpack for a quick off-grid hike. But if you want real backup power or a reliable off-grid solution, it's hard to beat in this price range. Regular cleaning and fan maintenance is something you should keep in mind too. The unit does have built-in cooling, but if you're running it in dusty or really humid places, do yourself a favor and wipe it down every so often. In conclusion, the Growatt HELIOS 3600 portable power station is, in my experience, a top choice for anyone who wants flexible, high-capacity backup power with tons of features for both home and outdoor use. It's not perfect. The weight and some app glitches were frustrating at times, but what you get is seriously impressive. For families that lose power, for RV owners, for those looking to cut their grid usage and save on power bills, this is a device that can really make life easier. I'm glad I took the leap and tried it. If you found this quick review helpful, please subscribe to the channel and let me know your thoughts or questions down in the comments. Thank you for watching.